The first time I heard the scratching, I thought it was rats. Old house, cheap rent, thin walls, that kind of place. The kind of place people move into when they don't have many options left. I had just gotten out of a bad breakup, lost my apartment, lost my job a week later. And this place was all I could afford. Small town, edge of nowhere, one road in, one road out. The landlord never showed the basement during the tour. Said it was flooded years ago, condemned, locked. I didn't care. I just needed somewhere to sleep, somewhere quiet. Funny thing is, it was quiet. Too quiet. No cars, no neighbors, no dogs barking. Nothing. Until the scratching started. Every night. Exactly at 2:17 a.m. Scratch. 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 Slow. Steady. Like fingernails. Dragging across wood. At first, I ignored it. Put headphones on. Turned the TV louder. Told myself it was pipes. Mice. Branches outside. Anything. But after a week, I realized something. The sound was moving. Every night, it got closer. The first night, it sounded far away, under the floor, then inside the walls, then right beneath my bedroom, and one night, it stopped directly under my bed. Scratch, scratch, scratch. I didn't sleep at all that night, just laid there, staring at the ceiling, listening, waiting for it to stop. It didn't, not until sunrise. The second the sun came up, silence, like nothing had happened. The next morning, I checked under the bed, nothing, dust, boxes, darkness, but I noticed something strange. The floorboards, one of them, looked newer than the others, cleaner, almost recently replaced. I told myself not to think about it. People repair old houses all the time. Still, I couldn't stop staring at it. That night, I stayed awake on purpose, phone in hand, lights on. 2:16 a.m. Nothing. 2:17. Scratch. Right beneath me, louder than ever. Then came the whisper. Help me. I froze. Every muscle in my body locked, because the voice didn't sound dead. It sounded weak, human, a woman. Please. Help me. I grabbed the flashlight beside my bed, shaking, sweating, heart pounding so hard I thought I'd throw up. And then, the scratching stopped. Silence. Until, bang! Something slammed beneath the floorboards, hard enough to shake the bed. I jumped back so fast I hit the wall. And then I heard it again, closer, desperate. Don't let him hear you. I ran out of the room, didn't even grab my shoes, just stood outside in the freezing night air, trying to breathe, trying to think. I should have left. I know that now. But fear does strange things to people, because part of me needed to know if it was real. The next morning, I bought a crowbar. By afternoon, I was back in the bedroom, staring at the floor. I remember my hands shaking so badly, I almost dropped the flashlight. The wood came up easier than it should have, like it had already been opened before. Recently, underneath, there was dirt, not concrete, not insulation, dirt, and a smell, rot, wet earth, something old. I shined the flashlight down. There was a space under the house, a narrow crawl space, maybe 3 feet high, just enough room for someone to move through. And there, in the dirt, I saw handprints, fresh ones. I slammed the board back down immediately, covered it, pushed the bed over it. Then I sat there, trying to convince myself I imagined it. That night, the scratching came back, but this time, it wasn't under the floor. It was inside the walls, moving, slowly circling the room. Scratch, 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 then stopping, right beside my head. And the whisper came again, closer than before. "He watches when you sleep." I turned on every light in the room. Nothing. But then, I noticed the closet door. It was open, just slightly. I knew I closed it. I always closed it. Slowly, I walked toward it, every instinct screaming at me not to. The closer I got, the colder the room became. And then, I heard breathing, inside the closet. Not loud, not growling, just slow breathing, like someone standing perfectly still, trying not to be heard. I grabbed the handle, pulled the door open. Empty. But scratched into the back wall were words. Deep, jagged, like carved with fingernails. "Don't look under the house." I moved out the next day, or at least, I tried to. The landlord showed up while I was packing. First time I'd seen him in weeks. Tall man, gray coat, didn't smile, didn't blink much either. He looked past me, toward the bedroom, then asked, "Did you hear it?" I didn't answer. He nodded slowly, like he already knew. Then he said something I still think about every night. It likes when people answer back. I told him I was leaving. He just stared at me for a few seconds, then smiled, very slightly. No one leaves on the first month. I drove away before sunset, didn't even finish packing. I should have kept driving, but around midnight, my phone rang. Unknown number. I ignored it. It rang again, and again, and again. Finally, I answered. Silence. Then scratching. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Coming through the speaker. And then the whisper. "You left me here." I threw the phone onto the passenger seat, nearly crashed the car. When I looked back at the screen, the call had ended. No number, no history, nothing. I stayed at a motel that night. Didn't sleep. Couldn't. Every tiny sound made me jump. Every creak. Every footstep outside. At 2:17 a.m., someone knocked on my motel room door. 3 slow knocks. I didn't move. Then came scratching. Directly beneath the bed. I left before morning. Weeks passed after that. I changed towns, changed jobs, changed apartments. But it followed. Always at 2:17. Always scratching. Closer every night. Sometimes from the walls. Sometimes under the floor. Sometimes right behind me. Then the dreams started. I'd wake up inside that crawl space, unable to move, buried in darkness. And somewhere ahead of me, something crawled, slowly, dragging itself closer. I never saw its face, but I heard its breathing, wet, heavy, broken. And behind it, I heard the woman crying, "Don't let it wear your skin." The first time I woke up with dirt under my fingernails, I nearly lost my mind. The second time, I found mud footprints in my apartment, leading to my bed. Then, one night, I finally saw it. I woke up at 2:17. The room was dark, too dark, and beside the bedroom door, someone was standing there. Tall, thin, bent wrong. Its arms hung too long, its head tilted sideways, and its skin looked stretched, like wet paper pulled over bones. It didn't move. It just watched me. And then, slowly, it smiled. Its mouth split too wide, far too wide. And I realized something horrifying. The face was mine. Not exactly, but close enough. Like something trying to copy me, without understanding human faces completely. Then it spoke, using my voice, almost perfectly. Let me stay. I couldn't scream, couldn't move. It took one step closer, and I heard bones crack inside its legs. Then another step, its smile growing wider, and suddenly, from somewhere behind the walls, the woman screamed. The creature froze. Its head snapped toward the sound, and for the first time, I saw fear on its face. Then it crawled backward into the darkness, fast, wrong, like a spider. Gone. I turned on every light, checked every room. Nothing. But scratched into my bedroom floor were fresh words. It found you. I called the police the next day. They searched the old house. 3 officers went into the crawl space. Only 2 came back out. The surviving officer refused to speak afterward, quit his job 3 days later, and the house burned down that same night. Official reports said electrical fire, but witnesses claimed they heard screaming beneath the house long after the flames started. I thought it was over after that. I really did. Until last night. I woke up at 2:17 a.m. No scratching, no whispering, nothing. Just silence. And somehow, that scared me more, because for the first time in months, I couldn't hear it, which meant it wasn't under the floor anymore. It was already inside the room, standing somewhere in the dark, breathing, waiting for me to look at it.